Good afternoon. Welcome back to Goofy Investing. Welcome back to the underground, the click. All right. Yeah, I haven't been posting lately. I think there was a little bit of a gap. Um, Life happens. Had family visiting over. I did post on my Patreon though, and give some updates. Um, but we're here to talk about SoFi and what's been going on with SoFi and my thoughts about SoFi and what I've been talking about and what I'm doing. All right. So, I haven't posted about SoFi in a while, so this should be a good little recap. Let's talk about a video I put out on March 12th, which I pretty much outlined. There's some issues that are identified. Speaking about their leveraging ratios, as far as how they're leveraging liquidity and so forth. And a lot of this was my bearish sentiment, freezing of funds, liquidation of some assets and CFO movement and stuff. A lot of this stuff has been resolved. But these people that have commented down here on this video pretty much said this is no big deal, and I mean, I beg to differ once again. I mean, it's a main thesis. We want people to, it's a bank. People need to trust the bank. Right now, SoFi is in the infancy stages of building trust with consumers. And with that being said, being able to build trust with consumers, they're going to be able to get higher quality loans from the higher upper tier consumer. All right. So you're going to be able to sell them those loans. All right. And then these consumers, they think twice about these loans though. So it's a harder sell to get those harder quality loans. So this was recorded on March 12th. We'll look at what's been happening since. Pulled up a little chart. March 12th here. Let me see here. We were at around $7.48. We closed around. All right. Stock's been roughly flat, but still downtrending from there. Earnings is still going good. We're seeing some expansion in margins, and the commentary from management has shifted to a more conservative transitionary business model towards focusing more energy on the tech platform and being more conservative on loan lending. And this is something that I have agreed about. And then a lot of the other SoFi bulls have disagreed with this strategy, thinking that they should, they think management should continue to push it with leveraging and doing more loans and being more aggressive with loans and so forth. And I mean, I've been putting out commentary about, maybe some market turbulence in the employment sector in Q3 and not having any interest rate cuts until Q4 this year. We'll see if that stuff plays out, but either way, SoFi has shifted towards a longer sustainable business model for the long term, and I'm happy for it. And I'm about taking risks. Remember, I mean, you look at my channel and you look at my portfolio, a lot of it is a bunch of stocks that are very risky. A lot of people will say I'm crazy for taking these risks, but whatever. So because I'm getting so bullish on SoFi, all right, what have I been doing? Yeah, you could have guessed it. I'm buying. I'm still buying. All right. So I'll put a little a buy order real quick. Let me see here. So yeah, just last week on last Friday, I bought 120 more shares. Now, here's the thing about SoFi and price action. I don't think that options are the right play. All right. Like I said before in these prior videos, if you've been following my channel, I think SoFi is stuck in this range and they're going to trade flat for the rest of the year. People say that, I mean, there were people commenting on my videos saying that's BS, blah, 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 price target, this or that. It is what it is, okay? If you're selling covered calls against this position in 8.5 strikes, few months out to whatever, I think you'll just collect the premium, and covered call is going to expire worthless for whoever bought that. If you're buying options on SoFi, then I mean, I think you're just going to lose all your money, and that's just what I think. Um, you know, but I don't have a crystal ball, and I don't want to come off too rude, but I gotta be real with everybody. All right. um, but I mean, I don't. Yeah, sure. You can. I don't know if the premiums are worth selling it. People got to make their own decisions. But I think we're range bound here. I mean, we're going to be trading flat the rest of the year. But the fundamentals will catch up, and I will be looking towards tech platform growth and revenue in the subsequent quarters to follow. All right, let's move on to actually some other things to look at with SoFi. Share float, we're looking at a little under 18. Just last week, I was checking the short float, and it was like 18 and a half, or pushing up to 19 ish. So, but this is still pretty high short float. So definitely the bears got some presence in the stock, and they're controlling the price action. All right. And let's look at insider trading. Noto has been buying. He's been buying direct shares here. All right, and he looks like he holds quite a bit of shares here. All right, so um, my take on this is, I'm still bullish on it. He's starting to buy at these levels. He understands it's undervalued, and it's just his decision. It's really a good thing if the CEO continues to buy these shares. All right. So, main strategy, main outlook. I'll pull up my position. I'm going to continue to buy SoFi here and there, 100 shares there, 40 shares there, 120 shares here, whatever. Okay. I'm gonna take my time. It's no rush. I'm happy with the amount of shares I got, but I'm okay with averaging in, building a bigger position, lowering cost basis. Honestly, I wouldn't mind getting this up to 2,000 shares if I get the opportunity. If the stock continues to be range bound here, um, I am interested in building other positions very aggressively. I'm going to put out another video shortly on another position I'm looking at, in which I will be way more aggressive going in and backing the truck up. So stay tuned for that. That's coming out very shortly after this video. So, but yeah, this is my take on SoFi. Um, I'm really bullish about the way management is taking this all. Earnings is, I mean, the end of July, so they practically, I mean, yeah, it's about last quarter. I mean, they reported a month ago, but I mean, still a couple months to go till the next earnings. And it may, depending on what they do, a lot of it's going to depend on market sentiment, on whether there's a lot of buying or selling, and, fear and greed index and so forth. So, that but I do expect SoFi to continue to be range bound and trade sideways. Maybe we get in the mid sixes or whatever. Honestly, I don't think we break into the fives. I'll knock on some wood or whatever. Um, I think we're stuck here around the $7 range, going up and down, mid sevens, mid six, whatever. So that's my take on it. I hope y'all are getting value out of this. Um, you know, Once again, I emphasize, the strategy that I'm taking with SoFi is to be a long-term investor and a shareholder, and to buy the shares straight out. Because if you have a manipulated short float, all right, and you got the bears up in it, all right, and Noto's performance units are out to 2026. So, I mean, I think we're range bound here once again, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I think the best play for me is to just buy the shares straight out and just average in and build a position further or lower cost basis and get a bigger position. All right. So that when it runs, I can be like, okay, I put some in here and there, and I can't, I don't have to regret it and saying that I didn't buy enough. All right. Which is pretty much probably still a good problem to have, but, that's my take. So if you're getting value out of this, consider subscribing to my Patreon. Um, I think that that Patreon is starting to become very interesting. People are subscribing to that thing, and I mean, I don't want to say that maybe I accidentally created some sort of cult or something. So there's a lot of stuff going on in there, but it's very interesting. I'm very, interesting. Interestingly, amused with that Patreon and what that thing is turning into. But anyway, you could go ahead and check that out. If you're getting value out of these videos and my channel, being a small channel that it is, and you want to take this path with me, the path of transparency into aggressive growth, consider subscribing. Because I cover these type of companies, these smaller companies that a lot of people talk about, and a lot of people don't talk about. So, but yeah, with that being said, thank you, and stay tuned for the next one.